Today I want to talk about the power of using emotion to change your life. Most people go through life feeling the range of emotions that everyone experiences, but never really analyzing those emotions or channeling those emotions to effectuate change in their life. There are several emotions that can actually be used to help push yourself to make positive changes. The late great Jim Rohn liked to speak about 4 emotions that people could use for change. I'm going to add one to his list. Believe it or not, one of the most effective emotions a person can utilize for change is disgust. You wouldn't normally think that you'd equate disgust with something positive, but if it's managed or channeled, it can be very powerful. Typically, when a person feels disgust, they're at the end of their rope, which I would say is a great opportunity to say to yourself, I've had enough. Not another day, not another minute. I remember one of my own experiences or seminars when I went through my first real estate crash in the 80s. I don't talk about this experience as much because it was so overshadowed by my huge seminar in 2008, but it's a great example of disgust that I can use for you. I was young and I was inexperienced in business, but I'd done quite well for myself flipping houses. I had the Rolls Royce, I had the Maserati, I had a Pantera, I had all these awesome cars. I had the equivalent of about $1 million house. I was really young, so I think my neighbors were convinced I was a drug dealer because I was doing so well, and I worked my own hours, I was home a lot. Then from that place, partly because of the crash, but partly because of my own inexperience in business in general, I ended up losing all that. I lost the house to foreclosure. I had to sell the Rolls Royce for a fraction of what it was worth to make a payroll for my staff one week, and then ultimately ended up laying off that staff. I got to a point where I had to paint houses to have enough money to eat. And the reason I use this as an example is one day I was painting a house so I could buy groceries, and I had a meltdown. I cried. I got totally disgusted with myself and my pity party. I threw down the paintbrush and I said, I'm never going to feel sorry for myself again. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and then I quickly went out and built myself back up in a big way financially. Disgust, my friend, can sometimes be a very powerful emotion for change. When someone says enough is enough, not another day, not another minute like I did, it can become a life-changing event. Now, another emotion that can be used to effectuate change is decision. The word decision, when you get to its Latin root, means to cut off. I like to equate that to cutting off all other options. For example, if you're in battle, I'd equate that to burning the ships if you're going to go take the island. Many people, need to be pushed against a wall to finally make a decision. The worst thing in the world is to sit in a place of indecision for any length of time. My mentor, Tony Robbins, says it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. We all deal with conflicting emotions when we're facing big decisions, and let me say that big decisions should never be made from a place of fear. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen, and I believe you're always just one decision away from a magnificent life. The hardest decisions can sometimes be the right decisions. To have a life that you deserve, the life of your dreams, requires you to make decisions and to take action on those decisions. The next emotion that effectuates change is desire. Napoleon Hill said, desire is the starting point of all achievement. Most people have a deep and sometimes even hidden desire for something more. It's important for you to find that same level of courage as your level of desire. Your desire to change has to be stronger than your desire to stay the same. You have to get to the point where you say to yourself, I want it now. You have to get out there and experience life and bring in all the positive experiences into your life to build desire. Let life's experiences touch you, and you can encounter the one touch that brings on a burning desire. The next emotion you can use to make big change in your life is anger. Anger can push you to take risks despite your fear. It's important, though, to shift that anger away from any external circumstances ultimately and focus on what it is you want. Use that anger to get you to move, but then shift it into passion. You can't make great sustained gains by staying in a place of anger. So convert that anger to the positive emotion of passion. Here's an example of using anger to make change. It's my own. I was in love with this girl my junior year of high school. I called her every single day. Her mom even called me Old Faithful. You can imagine how that made me feel. She was very beautiful, and I was too intimidated to do anything about it. Finally, I got angry. So one summer, I decided to change my life. I went and worked out at a gym real hard every day. I really built myself up physically. I got a job at this new exciting men's clothing store, got the latest clothes, got my hair cut and styled so I didn't look like a homeless guy anymore. And then I showed up at her house, and when she answered the door, she didn't even recognize me. Then she started calling me. The last emotion I want to bring up is resolve. There's a big difference between wishing for change versus coming at that change from a place of resolve. Resolve is when you say, I will. Resolve is driven by will and determination. When you resolve to do something, nothing can stand in your way. When you resolved, you won't give up. So change your shoulds to musts with resolve, and you'll take action and make positive change. Find your passion, and don't be afraid of change, my friend. The quality of your life is directly related to how much you can get outside your comfort zone. Embrace change and utilize emotion to effectuate that change, to drive you towards the life of your dreams. I'm Khleif, wishing you a magnificent life filled with incredible passion and massive success.